R Akivah, Yashaychem Mitzruay. R Akivah, Yashaychem Mitzruay. Yashaychem Mitzruay. Yashaychem Mitzruay. Litzaymi, Yachem Edarim Metayres. Even I me, Yachem Edarim Metayres. Yavi Chedem Ashumayim, Yavi Chedem Ashumayim, Yavi Chedem Ashumayim.
If you think about it, Lag Baomer has more mystery to it than any other day. What really happened that we're so happy? And there's many different reasons given, and I'd like to give one that's a little lesser known. Many of you have the practice not to shave and not to take haircuts and not to go to weddings from the end of Pesach all the way to Lag Baomer. What happened on Lag Baomer? They stopped dying, says the Shulchan Aruch, but that in and of itself wouldn't be a reason for celebration. Maybe that would be a reason for us to stop the mourning practices. But celebration with bonfires and whatnot, I don't think that's a reason to celebrate. Why do we celebrate on Lag Baomer? Says the Chida, Rabbi Chaim Yosef David Azulai, 12,000 pairs of students, namely 24,000 students of Rabbi Akivah, were killed by a plague between Pesach. Somewhere during Sfira, they stopped dying. What happened on Lag Baomer? That's when Rabbi Akivah started anew. That's when he went down to Rabbeinu Shebadarom. He went down to the Talmidei Chachamim, to the students who were great scholars down south, and started anew with 5 students. And those 5 students are well known. They're quoted all over the place. In other words, this is the day where Rabbi Akivah started anew. So for the last 33 days we've been mourning, based on the Gemara in Yevamot Daf Samech Bet. Today, we're in the next line of the Gemara there that says Rabbi Akivah started anew down south. Maybe today is the day that we have to make the same pact that Rabbi Akivah made, and that is, we will start again. We went through terrible tragedy just like he did. We lost so many just like he did. We can start again. We will rebuild. And maybe the best way to rebuild is to repeat what one of Rabbi Akivah's known lines that he's so known for. We used to sing it in school. Ve'ahavta l'reyacha kamocha. Don't forget for a moment what Israel was like on October 6th, how we were on the brink of civil war right before that terrible tragedy of Simchas Torah on October 7th. Maybe the way to start anew is to internalize that lesson of Rabbi Akivah. And how did he rebuild? I heard from Rav Osher Weiss that because his students were all killed because Shelo Nahagu Kavod Zarazeh, they didn't respect each other, he rebuilt based on the antidote to that. Rabbi Akivah's huge klal was Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, you should love your fellow Jew like you love yourself. His new students, Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Shimon, Rabbi Elazar ben Shamoah, are all known from bombastic statements regarding interpersonal relationships. Let's go in order. Rabbi Meir. The Medrash Tanchuma says that Rabbi Meir says, Kol ha-mevarechet Yisrael, whoever gives a bracha to a fellow Jew, ki ilu mevarech et hashchina. It is as if he's given a bracha to HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself. Pretty bombastic. The Yerushalmi in Sota Perek Aleph Subdivision 4 brings a huge story about how a certain woman went to his shir, and when she came home, her husband thought that she was cheating on him. She said, no, I was at a shir, and in order to sort of put him at ease, he said, you have to spit at this rabbi. She doesn't want to spit in the eyes of the rabbi that just taught her Torah. Rabbi Meir heard about this, made it as if he has some sort of a sickness in his eye, and said, is there anyone out there that can cure me? So he goes to this lady and says, you can cure me if you spit in my eye 7 times. So indeed, she spat in his eyes as per his request. And he said to her, go and now tell your husband that you didn't just spit at me once, but 7 times. So his students all ask him, Rabbi, with due respect, is this the way you show kavod Torah? That a woman spits at you? If someone would have done that to you, we would have taken him outside with baseball bats. He said to them, Lo yeh kvod meir ki kvod kono? What? My kavod should be bigger than God? God's name is willing to be erased in the sota that you give to a woman. If she is suspected of being a sota, you put in the name of God and it's erased in order to bring peace between husband and wife. So little Meir, meaning himself, shouldn't be. But Yehuda, the next one on the list, Shira Shirim Rabbah says, Kol mekabel pnei chaverim, kielu mekabel pnei shechina. Whoever goes out and greets his friends, it's like he's going out and greeting the holy presence of God himself. Rabbi Yossi ben Chalafta, Mesechet Shabbos, Kuf Yud Chet says, I lo havarti et divrei chaverai. Yodea ani ba'atzmi sheni kohen, v'apal pi ken im omrim b'chaverai alel duchan hayiti yoleh. I've never refuted a request from my fellow rabbis. And if they would have told me to go duchen, I would have duchen even though I'm not a Kohen. Ad kedei kach. In Mesechet Bava Metzia, Daf Lamed Gimel Amud Aleph, this same Rabbi Yossi ben Chalafta is quoted as saying, "Da'afilu lo hi'irei nav ela b'mishnah achat hu rabbo." If someone would have told him one chiddush of all the chidushim in the Torah, he called him Rebbe from that day on. You heard a shir on the web once, you meet the guy in person, you call him Rebbe. Rabbi Shimon, Mesechet Brachos Daf Mem Gimel Amud Bet says, "Noach lo la'adam she'yapil atzmo lekivshan ha'esh va'al yabin pnei chaviro barabim." It's better to be thrown into a fiery furnace and not to embarrass someone in public. And finally, the last one on the list, Rabbi Lazar ben Shamua in Meseches Avos, it says, "The honor of your students should be at least at the same level of your honor. And your fellow rabbis, like the kavod you give your Rebbe. And the kavod you give your Rebbe should be like the kavod you give God." So as you can see, all the students of Rabbi Akivah internalized that this whole period of Sphira was because we did not show mutual respect to each other. The way Rabbi Akivah instilled into them to fix it is to constantly go to the radical other side when dealing with other fellow Jews, giving them honor, giving them respect, even allowing a woman to spit at you if it brings peace between a husband and wife.
Smile a bit more. Say good morning and good evening a bit more. Learn to debate, but yet remain brothers and sisters. Listen to the other point of view and then say your point of view. And most importantly, remember, we're at the end of the day on the same side, looking out for the welfare of the Jewish people.
So if Lag Baomer is a celebration, it's a celebration of internalizing what the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akivah were lacking. And that is, we can argue, but around the same dining room table. We don't have to be united in our points of view, but rather united as a nation. We can absolutely disagree with each other, and yet show mutual respect at the same time.
If Rabbi Akivah started anew on this day, we can be happy because we could start anew and hopefully rebuild.
If the first night of Pesach was a celebration of what God did to us, Lag BaOmer is a celebration of how we treat each other. And that's why this day is a happy day. It's a happy day because these students, who indeed ensured that the Torah would perpetuate, internalized the message that the most important basis for a Torah life is being benches to each other.
He was successful in doing it. May it be God's will that on this day we start rebuilding, and hopefully what we rebuild will be eternal as well.
לחבריך